I hope.
Good evening, everybody. Here we are, Prom Night Rejects, back for podcast episode numero 6, because I don't know Spanish.
Sieben.
That's German. Anyway, coming to you socially distanced and pre-recorded from a secure location somewhere in Tamworth.
Yeah, we won't say sunny and we won't say anything else because the weather is just... Climate change is real, people!
Don't downplay that.
It wasn't. It's real. I had sun in my eyes driving home the other day with snow on the window screen.
It's not right, is it?
No.
I thought that you were being a bit Donald Trumpish about it, that's all.
Eating Pringles and podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Professionalism, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
This podcast, we are going to be talking about mine, Dan's and Tom's, our all-time favourite musicians, or musician specifically. We're also going to pick 2 of our favourite cover songs that have ever been recorded. And tonight we're actually going to start with me.
We are indeed, yes.
I believe. So I do intro and then I also continue straight into the segment.
It's the Dave Show.
It is the Dave Show. Before we get into it, though, Dave, I think we also need to do the Spotify disclaimer.
We do, because both bands tonight will be played through using Spotify. So, here we are.
Oh, because we're now no longer bleeping cuss words.
Nope.
So this is my this is how I get into accents, because most accents that I do are like they start with a swear word. So you fucking hell, you fucking you do.
Chakan.
Yeah, chakan. So they all start with swear words. So I was going to do a bit of prep. I've lost it now. I've completely lost it. Oh, you fucking wee bastard, you. There you go. There it is. All tracks played on the show from the artists will be played through the Spotify app and will, of course, receive their standard royalty in line with Anchor.fm guidelines.
Fucking smashing it, Dave.
It's my favourite part.
What I think is, we were expecting it to get quicker, but I love how more pronounced it's become.
I think Spotify. Right over there, you wee bastard, yeah.
Where's the Woody?
No, we're not digressing. This is it.
No more digressing.
No. So we're starting with Dave.
Okay. So, yeah, like we said, we're going to be going and talking about our all-time favourite musicians. So I think anybody who knows me at all, will know that the reason that I play guitar, the reason that I sing, the reason that I think that I'm so cool.
The best.
Yeah, exactly. The reason I think I'm so cool is because of Green Day, and specifically Billy Joe Armstrong. So I started playing guitar. We've discussed this in previous podcasts, and I absolutely denounce this as the truth, that I did not learn how to play You're Beautiful as my first ever song. But as an album, back to front, and I'm going to first mention, Stevie J will attest to this.
Wait, give it a second for the jingle.
Stevie J!
There it is.
I fucking love
So we
it.
can cut that out where he says Stevie J.
Yeah. I really hope Steve enjoys that. I really do. That's a specific jingle. So
if he doesn't, I'll fight him.
He will.
He will
attest to the fact that when we were in the sixth form common room and stuff, and every time Green Day, because it was played a lot on the radio, when we were that age, it was played a hell of a lot. That album came out, and I literally learned how to play guitar in the same year, and learned how to play that album pretty much back to front.
We are talking American Idiot, aren't we, Dave?
Oh, sorry, yeah, did I not mention that?
Which could be said, one of the greatest albums of all time. Like, it would be in my top 10.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I know that
Dan's like, nah.
Pass.
Yeah.
God, well, we all know that you don't like Green Day.
Not a fan of Green Day, but as far as like musicians go, when you're talking about Billy Joe, fantastic, amazing, can't fault them.
Yeah.
Incredible, just not my cup of tea.
Just absolutely hands down for me, anyway. I mean,
I guess it's the same way that I feel about Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
yeah, I mean, you're wrong. But
You've got an opinion, but you're wrong.
You're entitled to it. So yeah, that's me personally.
But so why
Huge.
Billy Joe Armstrong? Why, like, not just that album and Green Day, but like what else? Because he's
Why
done loads
specifically?
more, hasn't he?
He has done a lot more. But I mean, first or maybe second acoustic guitar song that I ever learned how to play was "Time of Your Life."
Mm-hmm.
I think most guitar players you pick up an acoustic guitar and you learn how to play something like that. But specifically, Billy Joe. I think it was I kind of fell in love with the guy when I watched Bullet in the Bible, which is the live show that they did in Milton Keynes, and they recorded everything was live, and his energy, I couldn't give a shit what you think of me energy. And I think I always wish that I had a little bit of that, because I do sometimes give too much of a toss of what people think of me, but I just would love to have a little bit of that, and I just absolutely idolise the guy. And he's not the most technically proficient guitar player in the world, as we know, but in terms of going back to the Gear episode a few episodes ago, in terms of Les Paul guitar into a Marshall amplifier, I mean, I know he's not always been known for the Les Paul thing, but in terms of that sound, that big chunky British punky rock sound that me and Tom absolutely adore, he's just got it. He's got the charisma, and he just doesn't give a shit what people think of him, and he's just out there, isn't he?
I would go as far to say as the Green Day sort of, like you say, Les Paul into a Marshall JCM 800 is the pop punk tone. If you look at the majority of later pop punk bands now, or punk bands, or even pop bands, majority of, if you want like a really, it's going to sound weird, but a real straight down the middle, clean distortion, something that is so you can hear every note, but it can still be scrappy, and it can still be that. Billy Joe, he's figured that out.
He just literally that sound, everything that Billy Joe's about. Like there was, I think it was Billy Joe who was rocking around playing gigs in waistcoats and stuff. And if anybody knows anything about when we used to play in After Hours, I was a bit of a sucker for a waistcoat.
Yeah, you were.
I think I tried to model a lot of what, even down to the point where I played a Les Paul, and had it strapped up to a certain point. Watched Bullet in a Bible and thought, no, that looks much cooler, and just dropped it about a foot so that the guitar was practically unplayable around my knees. But this is what I mean. I could go on, but I do idolise the guy, and he's definitely my favourite musician. Considering there are some massive influences of mine, people like Slash and people like all these big Les Paul and Marshall players and Zakk Wylde and people like that. Yeah. But from literally an idolising standpoint, it's definitely Billy Joe.
I like how Green Day have always kept that punk sound as well. Like, they've evolved, but always stayed true to the style that they are. Like, you see so many bands like evolve, and loads of them go like commercial and stuff like that. And I think Green Day have always stuck to that punk style sound, which I've always liked.
Like angst.
I think spot on as well with that, Dan, because like you could listen to Green Day's latest album, like pick any song, and you'd be like, yeah, it's Billy Joe. And then you could go back and listen to the very, very first Green Day album and go, yeah, that's Billy Joe.
Yeah.
But like bands that you couldn't do that with now, one that screams it to me, which I love the music, I do, but Bring Me, if you listen to Bring Me, its first album, and then listen to them now, you'd be like, that's not the same band. He doesn't, why is he singing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't know. There's that evolution to something completely different, but like you say,
Medusa versus Shadow Moses.
Well, not even that. Like, you look at the song that they've done with, like, if you were to, so say you get a stadium, Green Day, and every person that walks into that stadium, and you say to them, right, you play them a song off their first album, they'll be like, oh, it's Green Day, it's off this album, blah blah blah. Fine. You look at Bring Me, and you look at their fan base that they've got now that would go to them. And I think when they did that melody on their last tour, and they did, Pray for Plagues in there and stuff like that, I think Ollie even says, like, this song was written before most of you were even born. And fair play to them, they've evolved, they've become more commercial, and I do like that sound, but I wouldn't pay to go see that live now. I prefer older Bring Me, but like you say, you listen to Green Day now and then Green Day then, they have gone a little bit more commercial, but it's still punk.
The heart of Green Day is still there.
Yes.
The heart of Bring
100%.
Me is still there, but it's different. It's evolved into something that fits. Like I say, I would rather go and see Bring Me now than back in the day. But that's just me because I just like the direction that they've gone into me. That just makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Architects as well. Like,
yeah.
But then Architects have kept some of their, like, you could still,
Yes,
like, you see what I mean? Like the Green Day
yeah.
thing. You could
Yeah.
tell that's them then and now.
Yeah.
Because they've always had that sort of, like, they've had the elements where there's been singing as well as the heavier stuff. So, like, because they bridged that gap so early on, now it's not too much of a shock.
Yeah.
Whereas Bring Me, because early on and even into, like, later albums, it was so heavy. Then when they'd started doing the singing stuff, it was like, whoa, it's good, but it's a different turn of pace as opposed to Architects that had got that sort of mix of both. So, yeah. We could talk about this all fucking
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely. God, yeah.
we
evolutions
definitely
of
went,
bands.
went down the rabbit hole.
Oh, no, that's fine. But speaking of music and bands as we do, cover tracks then, Dave?
So I've picked 2 cover tracks, and if you don't agree with me, kiss my this is a public service announcement brought to you in part by Prom Night Rejects.
Yeah, if you don't
The
agree...
views and events here are totally fucked.
if you don't agree, get the fuck off the
Yeah.
podcast.
So my first cover that I've gone for is Killswitch Engage's Holy Dialer, because it's
Amazing.
an unpopular opinion maybe, but I think when you think about original songs and then the cover versions of those original songs, like, we don't have big time metal, like heavy metal vocalists now without Ronnie James Dio.
Mm-hmm.
He influences so many people. Like, I don't think that we don't have a Corey Taylor if we don't have a Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Without-
So,
yeah.
I mean, that song in its own right, amazing. And this is the thing: Killswitch Engage come along, and they drop tune this, and they throw this cover out with squeals everywhere and things like that. And again, maybe an unpopular opinion, better than the original
By far.
I think I heard the cover before I actually heard the original. I'm sure I heard the Killswitch version before the Dio.
Same boat, yeah, definitely.
There's a lot more balls in the Killswitch version, obviously, but not taking anything away from Dio and what they were doing, because obviously ridiculous, trailblazers kind of thing. But yeah, it might be an unpopular opinion, and it certainly would be for old school metalheads and things. Sacrilege! But honestly, for me personally, better.
Yeah, definitely. Like like you said, the solos, the way it sounds, the video is just hilarious. The fact that they've got Howard as a blacksmith, is hilarious. Yeah. And then is it the good Adam is a princess?
Yes, I think so.
Here.
And I think Joel, the guitarist, is like the king or something. He's just constantly in a chicken leg or whatever.
Joel's the wizard. He's the evil wizard.
It's the drummer
isn't he?
that's the king, isn't
That's
it?
it. Yeah.
So,
But just brilliant. Like they just are, and Howard's voice, like Killswitch alone, incredible. But then to cover that, it's one of them covers that goes on my playlist every single time. Because those solos as well are just killer.
Absolutely killer. And I think that's the thing that we love about Killswitch, not just from a covers perspective, but from what they do generally anyway. They're one of these bands where I would aspire to be that way if I was a band, like, in a big commercially successful band kind of thing. Their music is incredible, but they do not take themselves seriously.
Yeah.
Like they can't.
The best type of band, because
Absolutely.
you can everything seems to happen a bit more naturally. We all know that behind the scenes they've got marketing, they've got PR, they've got people really working for them.
Yeah.
But the fact that those guys have got to the point where they can have those people do that for them is awesome.
Yeah.
Because that takes away all of the fun of being in a band, like all the businessy shit.
Yeah, and like, I mean, write, produce, and record all their own stuff because Adam does all the recording. That's fantastic,
badass,
and a brilliant cover as well.
Side note with Adam, literally, guitar, tube screamer, amp, single 57 on the cab, and that's it.
Yeah,
just
no fucking about
like double tracked or whatever. Just a single 57. That just sorry, Dan, I digress. There.
No, I know exactly what you meant there.
Do you really?
Did you really?
Exactly
What's a 57?
No, I couldn't tell you what a 57 is, but I know what he meant. You're on about recording.
You're on about the simplicity of it, and I know you get that.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's
not as fucking dumb as I look, you know.
I never said you look dumb.
Sexy.
Yeah.
I do actually listen to you guys.
Good.
Now your second.
The second one is a bit of a flip. I like how different these two
I fucking love that he's put this in as his second one.
So this
this a cover?
Yeah. Well,
is it a cover?
Yeah, of course it is.
It's a cover of... Okay, all right, okay.
So, I love Disney films, right? I think we can all say, yeah, we're all cool with that. We all like Disney movies.
Yeah,
we love Disney movies and stuff. So, we took Oscar to watch Frozen 2.
Was it at the cinema?
Yeah, we took him to watch it at the cinema. Obviously, it was
pre-COVID. And
yeah, of course. Yeah.
And was it his first time at the cinema as well?
I think maybe his second time at the cinema.
Cool.
But anyway... movie's playing along and it's like a sing-along version with all we went to watch Frozen 2 and there's a sing-along version and whatever. Me and Charlie absolutely digging the movie. Oscar falls to sleep next to us type of thing, and we're just there, just two 29-year-old people just sat watching it and like objectively loving it, absolutely loving it. So it gets to the end of the movie and there's a big number in the movie called Into the Unknown, which is obviously sang by Idina Menzel, who plays Elsa.
Yeah.
Huge number in the movie. It's sort of like the follow-on to
Let It Go.
Let It Go, if you like.
Yeah.
So there it is. Amazing. Great big high vocal. Loads and loads of cool stuff going on in that song. And then as the credits start rolling, you just hear the do-doom, da-da, da-da-da, and it's Panic at the Disco.
Oh, yeah.
Just Brandon.
Right, and I had
just Brandon.
So
the voice of a god.
Initially, I thought when he starts absolutely smashing those high notes out, initially I thought it was you guys know a guy called Adam Lambert?
Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah, well, yeah, he sings for
Queen.
Yeah, he sings for Queen, but I think he was on like Pop Idol or an American Idol or something like that. But the guy's absolutely killer. He's been all over the place now. He's starred in like Glee. He's sang for Queen and
quick fact as well. I'm pretty sure Adam Lambert and Brandon Urie are the only two people that have got as men that have got that vocal range. I'm pretty sure there's like a high C or something.
Yeah.
They're the only people the only two men
Doesn't surprise me.
in the professional musician world anyway that can hit that note.
Nah, fuck that. Kick me in the balls. I'll hit that note.
Not on purpose though.
Title of your podcast.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Oh, we always find it. I'm sorry, I've got something in my eye, and I'm just like leaking,
I wondered what you were doing.
just leaking out of my eyeball. So yeah, I honestly thought that it was Adam Lambert, and then as the credits obviously continue on, I was like, who the fuck was that? And then we get outside. We all jump in the car, and Matt was right. Before I go anywhere, I've got to Google who the hell that was, and it's Panic at the Disco. And I just thought it is a ridiculous cover for a man to be able to sing that high and that powerfully as well.
I'm ashamed of you.
Why are you ashamed of me?
You and Laura had the same thought process when that I took the kids to see that as well, and when like that happens when the credits roll, straight away my jaw hit the floor. And Laura was like, oh, that's the dude who sings for Queen now. And I looked at her and I went, that's Brandon from Panic at the Disco. I would have thought you wouldn't have had to Google that.
No, I definitely had to Google it. But if you get a chance, if you haven't heard it, go and listen to this cover. Panic at the Disco.
It'll be on the playlist.
Of course it will. Panic at the Disco, Into the Unknown. Ridiculous cover. So much fun. And the movie's good too. It's not the best song. It's not the best song in that movie.
Right.
No, Into the Woods.
Lost in the Woods.
Yeah.
Incidentally, there was a covers album that was released. So So I think it's got people on. Obviously, the Panic at the Disco one's on there, but Lost in the Woods is done by Weezer.
Incredible.
And it's completely
Now, that's
the other way
not
around.
a cover, is it? They originally wrote that for the film, didn't they?
Did they?
Did they?
I'm
I didn't know
pretty
that.
sure they originally.
Dan's been doing his research
I
again.
fucking love Weezer anyway.
Yeah,
like,
but
by far.
In terms of Dio and Killswitch, and I think Killswitch is better, I actually prefer the version from the movie than I do Weezer's version, because I feel like it's like, because there's all this ridiculous, like, Queen-esque style, like, 4-part, 5-part, 6-part harmonies and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, it's such a great song, but that obviously that's not the one that I picked, because the Panic at the Disco one's just absolutely insane. But yeah,
on the mention before we move on with Panic at the Disco, not their first cover either. You ever heard of their cover in The Greatest Showman?
Oh yes, he did. They did a cover
They
album,
did the main
didn't they?
song, didn't they? Yeah,
And they did. What's it called? It's the Greatest Show, didn't they?
yeah.
That's the one.
Have you heard them sing that?
I haven't, but I imagine it's really, really good, because that's the thing about Panic at the Disco, aren't they? They're quite a theatrical band.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you go back
Mm-hmm.
to is the album called A Fever You Can't Sweat Out?
Yeah, the first one with
I Write Sins Not Tragedies and things like that. That album, I was never really into them. I never ever was. But when I was supposed to be into them, when I was a young emo kid, I was supposed to be into them, and I just was not. I just couldn't get my head around it. But nowadays, go back and have a listen to that album.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Like the tracks
Not
on there,
just
like,
the vocals either.
No,
the
whole
musicianship.
thing.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's so the musicianship, especially on a track called "But It's Better If You Do," is so Fall Out Boy, like the musicianship of it. But then you've got Brandon's vocal, which
Incredible.
Insane.
Great covers, Dave. Really
solid,
good
man.
covers. Absolutely.
There were a
solid.
million and one. There were a million and one. But yeah, just to try and pick.
This is the part of the podcast I fucking hate.
What? The feature round.
Oh, by the way, before we move on to that, and Dan's favourite feature,
I like all the features.
Yeah. So but before we move on to that, anyway, everything that we chose again, as per usual, will be added to the playlist. I do apologise because I am a little bit late in updating podcast number 5. Obviously, by the time this comes out, it'll already be done because I will have figured it out and sorted it by then. But yeah, let's rock and roll this next one, and we'll bring it in with the jingle, everybody's favourite jingle. This is Would You Rather.
Would you rather have dicks for fingers or a finger for a dick?
How would I bite my nails?
And I'll ask you this. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Quack, quack, motherfucker.
Well, we'll be asking these questions and many, many more on Would You Rather?
Who fucking cares?
Okay, so after that amazing jingle, we are
Incredible.
in to Would You Rather. So
Still laughing.
I'm going to start tonight, gents. Go around the
Awesome.
circle the wrong way. So, would you rather? The first question. Would you rather never play your instrument again or never have sex with your respected partner ever again?
Damn.
Yeah.
I could go with that.
Which
Guitar.
one? I was going to say which one.
And that's it.
Are we just talking like intercourse with a partner or like
Anything, everything. Not even dry humping, Dan.
Do you know what? Considering the magic we can work on a laptop with the drums, I'm going to say never play my instrument again.
Shithead. I didn't think of that.
Which
That's a loophole.
Yeah.
When you say instrument,
I mean, like, you could never play guitar again, Dave. Dan could never play drums again.
giggity.
Yeah.
You weren't specific. I'm playing my instrument right now.
Please stop.
No! You know, that thought fucking crossed my mind for a second.
Yeah,
It's like,
it did.
I'm going to do that.
But I'm crude enough to fucking do it.
Yeah,
So
you go there. You go there.
yeah, I would say that I'd never play my instrument again.
I would
'Cause,
agree.
I mean, my wife's banging, so
Samples. We'll figure it out with samples.
yeah, do all that.
Dave. You'd be the only one.
My wife's going to listen to
Yes,
this
she
podcast,
is.
so we were all fully aware of that. Yeah, I think there are... If it's just my instrument, so I couldn't play guitar again, but you have access to some other bits and other things, then I think I could live with that. I'd teach myself piano.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't
That's
think
a
about
solid
that.
choice.
That's a good shout.
No,
That's
yeah, it is a solid choice.
yeah.
But then, here we are. This is
Yeah.
Would You Rather.
So evolving on to that, then just digressing a little bit. Obviously, we all chose wives and that. David go for piano. What would you if you couldn't pick up a guitar again? What would you go for?
I'd pick the drums
Would you pick
straight
the drums?
away. Yeah, we'd just switch instruments to create the same band.
Yeah, there you go. Tom's quite a good drummer, actually. I remember when we used to do elf practices and stuff, and he used to jump on Phil's kit and things like that. It's quite good.
I do actually quite. I had an electronic kit for a little while when I was recording like other bands and stuff. But I don't know, I just like it. Just playing. Like I came up with a lot of the elf drum beats sort of patterns and stuff to begin with.
Yeah.
And then Phil would come in and make them better. And then stop giving me that look, Dave.
Right, Dave. What's your would you rather question?
Hang on. No. What would you play?
Do you know what? I've loved piano music, so I'd always like to say that I'd pick piano, but I think deep in my heart, I think I'd pick saxophone.
I knew you were going to pick something you could blow.
Yeah. I can't blow Dave all the time, can I?
It'd be the.
Yeah.
Do you know why I'd want to learn saxophone? I'd want to follow fat people around a supermarket like boom, 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 just till they get annoyed and fucking nut me.
You just made a Family Guy reference.
He did.
Yeah.
But that's not a saxophone.
It's not a saxophone. If anything, you're going to be following people around just playing Careless Whisper and stuff.
10-hour version.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right, Dave, what's your would you rather question?
Do you know what? I actually haven't picked one because I'm useless. I've been doing house renovations all week, so I haven't actually picked one.
Dan.
Pussy
hole.
Yeah, you won't be saying that when I've got a fully renovated studio for us to play in.
Damn right.
Anyway, would you always have wet socks or a small rock in your shoe?
Oh, I'd have to go for the... Can you move the rock around? Or is it stuck in that one place?
It's going to stay.
Like you've taped it in place.
No, you haven't taped it in place,
Not-
obviously,
not
but
me,
it's just
like
it's a
you would-
magic rock. It's just it's annoying, and it just knows that it's fucking doing your head in.
That's
So-
a good one, man.
I know that immediately. I'd pick the rock because if it's like in the middle of your foot, I could learn to walk like just on my heel. If you've got wet socks, you
They
would be
would-
cold all the time.
Yeah, but surely they'd be. Would they ever dry?
No, of course. If you've always have wet, so how are you going to dry?
Yeah.
You're going to
I'd-
ruin your carpet.
I'd take the rock.
Yeah, I'd take the rock
Dave.
all day, every day.
Dave. What would you do?
Oh, fucking! I don't care. I'm going to be honest. It's the same as the horse or fucking giraffe question.
What was funny was when we mentioned that to Charlie about what would you do. You wouldn't be able to get your giraffe under a bridge. You'd be like, I'd just teach it to bend down.
Yeah, look, Charlie's logical with his shit. That's the thing. That's what I've learned from.
That's
Okay,
exactly what comes with being married to a person like that. When you're overly emotional and they're just like so black and white.
Okay, so final would you rather then before we move on to Tom's questions. Would you rather say your ex's name in bed or your wife's best friend's name?
I think it's going to have to be the best friend. So I feel like I could square my way around that one. Do you know what I mean? I could, but no, not the. Well, to be honest, I haven't even got any exes. All my exes live in Texas. They don't live anywhere. They don't exist.
So you go for best friend.
Yeah,
Tom?
best friend.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I had this conversation with Laura when I saw that question, and I was like, I'd have to go for best friend, definitely.
Is there a third option where I just throw myself out of a window?
No, because Charlie would do that for you.
Take it, Brendan. Take it, Brendan.
I assume Heber. I assume Charlie's best friend is Heber. So if you,
It could be Heber or Naomi.
if you said either one of those two names, I think she'd honestly piss her fucking self laughing.
She probably would.
Yeah.
She probably would. And then ask questions after the fact.
Oh, brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Would You Rather?
My favourite section.
Would You Rather?
Who fucking cares?
Yours was a good question again. Yours was really good.
Right, okay. So,
On to you then, Tom.
it is it on to me?
It is on to you, so same as Dave.
Okay, so all-time favourite musician. He is the fucking nice guy of rock. It is Dave Grohl.
Dave
Yeah.
Grohl.
The legend. I could...
Gonna be honest, didn't see that one coming.
Fresh pot!
Fresh pots! Yeah, like, you know, I think more so of how inspirational he is as a person. I think
Yes.
it's not necessarily the... To be fair, there's nothing about the guy I don't like. I think he's just... Like I say, he's the nice guy. There's no... I don't think I've ever seen a bad story about him. He's... Just... You watch him live, like, you know, whether it's a DVD, whether you go and see the Foo Fighters, he's just captivating. Everything about the guy is just, like... I know a lot of people will agree with the fact that he is inspirational. Like, he's come from probably the biggest grunge band, mainstream grunge band, if you like,
Yeah. Yep.
ever. From a tragedy to come out with a band where he played the drums and then now he's playing guitar and singing. Like, they had a documentary called Back and Forth, which was about basically charting the whole of basically the time up until they did. It was the album with Bridges Burning on it.
Oh, yeah, I can't remember the name of the album now.
It got like rope on it and stuff like that as well. And
Arlandria.
yeah, but
White limo.
White limo. But it was basically up until that album, and it was charting everything from then. So like playing on tours with, you know, bigger bands all the way through. It just charts it all the way through, and it just, you know, they've had a tough time of it more than anybody, Foo Fighters, and then to come out the end of it now, and they are the biggest, most well-respected rock band, I would say, in the world. There's not many rock bands that tend to break through now into a mainstream, like the Radio 1 crew or the Vibe, like that sort of clique, if you like. There's not many rock bands that sort of fit into that. And the Foo Fighters have sort of they've just paved the way. So with just so many people, they've brought so many people to the limelight as well. Like, I know bands like Royal Blood and things like that have been brought to the spotlight by Dave. And there's just, I feel like everybody that's sort of, especially into music or anybody they've got a lot to thank people like Dave for.
Definitely.
Because he's just, like I say, the nice. I was reading a thing the other day actually, and it was this guy. And it was like, I think it was a TikTok, and it was a guy that was just like, oh yeah, and it was like, name a time where you met your hero, like an embarrassing time when you met your hero. And this kid was just like, yeah, I'd had a big fight with my dad, and I was in a diner with my mom and my sister, and we were having some food. They were trying to cheer me up, and this kid was like, I'd got my head down, and he said, I spotted what I thought was Dave Grohl from across this diner. And anyway, he hears his mom then say like, oh, don't worry, he's feeling a bit upset, he'll be fine in a minute. Looks up and Dave's there. So Dave has like a 15-minute conversation with this kid. This kid's just like overcome with it. And then he's like, before you go, come and say bye. Dave goes to leave with his daughter and his wife and stuff, and he's leaving. And this kid's just outside, he's just walked out as well. So they're like 10-15-minute gap or something, he said. And then he said he walks out and there's loads of people surrounding Dave trying to get his autograph and pictures and stuff. And he comes up to this kid, and this kid that he sees, he's just like, keep playing, Damien. Like, you'll fucking make it. And do you know what I mean? Like, this kid was just like made my life. And like, do you know what I mean?
Just-
Dave's that sort of guy.
He did not need to do that at all.
Not at all.
He didn't need to
He
do
just comes across as that sort of like you say, it's backed up by the stories. You've got people in the industry that come across as nice guys, and then you find out like years later they're like dicks and stuff like that. Like, nothing but nice guys. I think the one thing I love about Dave Grohl is how fucking funny he is.
Yeah.
Tenacious D, when he played the devil in tribute video, he's genius.
The guy is just
incredible.
Yeah, it's everything that I think as well. He's got like that group of guys like like Jack Black and Carl Gass, and then the guys from Eagles of Death Metal that he's friends with, the guys from Queens of the Stone Age that he's cool with, playing drums, so that he just knows a lot of it. I watched a video of him the other week where they pulled Rick Astley out on stage and started playing Never Gonna Give You Up,
Amazing.
like a Foo Fighters version with Rick Astley singing, and he pulls kids up on stage at shows to play guitar. I mean, the geezer broke his leg, went to the hospital, got treated, and then came back and played the show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Have you ever read the full story about that?
No.
So when he fell off the stage and broke his leg, a doctor in the crowd saw it, gave him the initial treatment, and went with him to the hospital.
No way.
Where the hospital then took it over. A year later, when they came back, Dave got in touch with that doctor and got him like full VIP access for like him and his family and stuff.
This is what I mean.
Just
this,
incredible.
This is the kind of stuff, but
It's just going that extra mile, the stuff that, like you say, he doesn't need to do that stuff. Like, the guy's just legendary. The one thing I will say, I've seen Foo Fighters a couple of times.
never seen him.
Once at Milton Keynes, man.
Gutted.
Once at Milton Keynes, and I remember the first thing he walks out and says, they bust into something like straight away, like All My Life, like a massive intro or something, into All My Life, and then he finishes up and he's just like, well, hi, and everybody goes fucking mad.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so just before the show, obviously they started playing at like, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock or something. He's like, before the show, we were told by the venue that the curfew was 11 o'clock. So we're going to play till fucking 1 o'clock in the morning. And literally, who is going to stop the Foo Fighters? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they play everything. So he was like, oh, we're going to play all of this, and then we're going to play all of this. And then it's like, but we're also going to play a song called For All the Cows. It was off our first album, just because we want to play it tonight. So, yeah. And it's just like, he's just such a cool guy.
I just, the way you've said they come out with that intro, it made me think of Simpson. You just imagine Dave Grohl coming out and going, hi everybody, and the whole crowd goes, hi Dave Grohl. No, brilliant. And that, when you mention Queens of the Stone Age, no one knows, one of like the first like drumming songs that I just ultimately was like, I've got to learn that.
It's the first song I ever saw you play on drums, and I honestly, from that
amazing.
moment on, I just thought that you were the best drummer in the world.
Maybe I am. I'm fucking not.
Ridiculous. I remember being in your bedroom at your
Hey,
mum and dad. He was banging some skin.
Not going to say what skin.
Yeah, he was handling those sticks real good. Stick multiple. There was more than one of us. Ridiculous. I just remember him watching him play it and thinking, like, Jesus Christ, this guy's an actual musician. Well, of course, we all know that's not true.
Yeah, we do now.
No, good pick with Dave Grohl. Very, very good pick with Dave Grohl. For somebody to have been, like you say, you've got, a legend. Like, if you were going to put like a Hall of Fame out, Nirvana would be on there, but so would Foo Fighters. And I don't know many other musicians that can say they've been in two iconic bands.
Yeah.
Good one. Fair play.
Yeah, I'm not going to linger on that too much because we could talk about Dave Grohl forever.
So what covers?
So I chose two covers. I chose, and I'm going to give an honourable mention as well to a band called Boyce Avenue, which if everybody hasn't heard them.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Everything they've ever done.
Yeah, everything. He's just got the sexiest voice.
Yep. Listen to their cover of Greatest Showman. Not Greatest Showman. What's the song in the Greatest Showman that the woman does? The big operatic one.
Oh, This Is Me.
Not that one, the other one, the one that you really like.
Oh my God, it makes me cry.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Have you never heard Boyce Avenue do a cover of that?
No, and I'm going to go and listen to it.
I'm going
right now.
Dave's gone.
Yeah, amazing. But yeah, so what covers have you got?
So I chose Newfound Glory's cover of Iris as my first one.
Good song.
Just because,
even the original is a really good song.
So, again, another song where, because I'm so into pop punk, I heard Newfound Glory's version before I even heard Goo Goo Dolls' version.
Ah, okay.
So to me, when I heard the Goo Goo Dolls version, it just sounded like a watered down version of Newfound Glory.
Oh, yeah,
So-
okay, fair enough.
That's insane.
So
As if that you heard that before.
yeah, I mean, like I say, I was never, especially like Goo Goo Dolls. It's a bit of a weird sort of area of. It's sort of, they're sort of like a, I don't know, like mid-90s sort of rock band. It's not really something that I
only
would,
know that one song.
They had one more, but yeah.
Play that one fucking song.
Yeah.
That seems to come up in every podcast. We should do a jingle for play that one song.
Play that one song, fuckers.
That's a would you rather question. What would I give up forever to touch you?
So I chose that one just because the song itself is a fantastic song. But Newfound Glory just make it their own. Like to begin with, obviously, it's on the album. One of the first albums that they did which was From Screen to Stereo, which is basically where they take like movie stuff or songs that are featured in films.
So many
to
good
pop punk.
ones
Yeah.
in that. Everything they do covers wise, ridiculously good.
It's
and
so
this
funny.
is just a Newfound Glory album, or is this like loads of different nights, like a Pop Goes Punk?
So no, it's just a Newfound Glory album, but all they do is
okay.
covers. So they've done.
Why have I never heard of
3 or
this?
4 of these albums.
I think they've done. I want to say 4 now, but they've done From Screen to Stereo. But they've done so many classics. Like they've done like.
My heart will go on.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to write
so
this. I did
bad.
not know that Newfound Glory. Have
What
done
else did
this.
they do? They did. What was the song from Breakfast Club?
Oh, don't you
forget about me.
Raise his arm into
Yeah.
the air.
Yeah, and again, amazing cover. But they've
Okay,
done
I'm
some.
gonna have to listen to that.
They've done This Is Me from Greatest Showman as well. But yeah, like I say, there's loads. That one was a particular one, which is the reason I chose that is because it was one of the first ones that I'd heard from Screen to Stereo. Kiss Me as well.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Which was the one-
I've
that's-
got that on my notes at one of their best covers. I'd never listened to their cover of this until you put it on there.
Yeah, it's great.
What film was it out of?
Iris.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
City of Angels, Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Tom Nicholas Cage.
Done my research. It's a good
Yeah.
little love song as well. Like loads of people have used it at weddings. I know Andy Quick and Tash used it at their wedding. I've heard it at other ones and stuff like that. It's a good song. I like it. But
Yeah.
good cover as well. Really good cover.
Yeah.
I'd never heard it until you put it on here.
No, I was like I say, really, really good. I like I say, I had to me, this was the first listen of the song that I'd ever had anyway. So I was like, fucking, this is a really big song for Newfound Glory. Like this is massive. And then they did Kiss Me as well, which has got Paramore in the video.
Yeah.
Because isn't Hayley Williams married to the
she
guitarist?
was. I don't think she is anymore. She was married to Chad Gilbert for a while, wasn't she?
Okay.
But
And they did that really cool song together. What was
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Was it
they did, didn't they?
Not Reckless Love.
Something. Yeah, it was something
Yeah,
cool
something
though.
Vicious
Anyway.
Love.
Oh, another
Great
good
riff.
one to mention, Newfound Glory. They did a song called King of Wishful Thinking.
Oh, of course, the 80s classic. Yeah.
Yeah.
By Go West, I think it was.
It was, yeah. Anyway,
So
We
second
should
one?
we should totally do that. We've discussed this before, haven't we?
Yes.
About doing a
Yeah.
series of covers.
series of
but-
covers, yeah.
Yes, please.
But like
Yeah.
pop, yeah. If you want it, just dial in.
Yeah. Let us know.
Okay, so second one, again, another pop punk band. It's Fall Out Boy's cover of Beat It.
Beat it.
Now, Dan doesn't like the solo at the end
Can't
of it. He's
stand.
like, what
Can't
the fuck?
stand the solo.
Right, this,
Hate
I've
it.
literally-
John Mayer.
I've got to get this.
Who fucking cares?
We do because we love John Mayer.
Don't go. John
Is it?
Mayer,
Right.
incredible.
Right. We,
I don't think I like the tone of it.
I think that we've got to discuss it because that solo obviously originally was recorded by Eddie Van Halen.
It was.
Obviously not a direct like for like copy that John Mayer does, but some of the timing and stuff and the way he phrases things and what
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it from a guitar player's perspective, that it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
and
And
you can
I know-
tell that it's a really, really good solo.
Yeah.
I just think I don't like the way he plays it or the tone that he's got.
Okay.
Like I know for a fact, if you were to plug in one of those guitars right now with the tone that you have, you'd shred it, and I'll be like, "That's amazing." I just don't think I like that.
Shred.
But great cover though, because like Patrick's voice suits that style
Again,
as well.
going back to like the whole Brandon Urie thing, if there's anybody that I could wish I had the voice of it, it'd be Patrick or Brandon. Just purely because they just stand out, aren't they? They're just so good. Like everything, like as well. Patrick is. I don't know if you've seen or heard much of Fall Out Boy live.
Yes.
Like earlier on, I know when he was doing like when it was all like Thanks for the Memories and that sort of album era. They were quite scrappy and stuff when they were doing it live. And me and Hayley went to watch them on the Save Rock and Roll tour at like the NIA, and it was with the time that he's had in the band, and I know he went away and did a solo album as well. His vocal is just like it's just above and beyond now.
Next
like it's
level.
so like he's obviously learnt so much about the way that he sings and the way that he can control it. That now to do those huge songs night after night after night, it's just, and he hits everything every single time. He knows exactly how to dip, where to, his mic control, where he pulls away, where he doesn't, where he, where he's really going to go for it. But in this part, rather than going for it, he's going to go and do a lower harmony, but let, Pete or Joe or just touch that little bit of, and it's just so well thought out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I have so much love for Fall Out Boy.
I literally went through a massive stint of wearing trucker caps purely because of Patrick's stump. I mean, I look bad. Don't get me wrong. It looked pretty bad.
And the one thing that's quite fun, well, he's got a signature Gresh guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know. It's a 3 pickup thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is
I've
it-
never got that.
Why do you need 3 pickups?
Well, it's 3 like Filtertron style pickups, and I've never
Which video?
ever.
I'm sure I've seen him play it in one of the videos.
Yeah, it's got some like cool like stripes on it too.
Yeah.
Every guitar.
Maybe
needs
it was
stripes.
in that bam bam bang 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 bang.
It might well be,
Maybe it's in that video.
but to me, you should just play an SG.
Oh, yeah, from like from
Under the cork tree
under the
area.
cork tree sort of stuff. Yeah, definitely.
But anyway,
Not the best Michael Jackson cover though.
oh, here we go back to Dan's notes. Carry on, Dan. Who's
Here we
the
go.
best Michael Jackson?
are we gonna have to do another
Alien
jingle
Ant
now?
Farm, Smooth Criminal. Pow! Come on, you
Yeah,
can't.
I disagree.
The
I
bass
would.
line in that.
I mean,
is
that's
insane.
The bassist on his own is stupid.
Yeah.
I think he plays something ridiculous. Is it like a 6 or an 8-string
Yeah,
bass or something? It's
But
like-
again-
basically, it looks like he's playing a laminate floorboard.
Yeah.
His hands so stretched out, it's insane. He's like this geezer could play for fucking Dream Theater if he wanted to. He's that good.
But
Brilliant.
again,
But good covers though.
yeah. I would take Fall Out Boy over that any day. But then, Alien Ant Farm to me are just another A.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of songs.
Play that one song.
Well, it'd be Smooth Criminal and Movies, which
Oh,
Movies
I
is an
love Movies.
incredible
Who
song.
else covers movies? Oh shit, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming to a...
It's in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the bag. We'll play it live one night.
We'll
But
play
no,
it to have one
good
day.
covers, Tom. I like that. Really
Yeah.
good covers.
Yeah. I'm happy with my choices.
Yeah, definitely.
Big
Good time. Good.
Sweet. So, all of those will be added to the playlist as per usual. And now, time for featured.
Dad jokes, dad jokes. These jokes are for your dad. And written by your dad. Daddy's home. Ooh, and some of these jokes are really fucking funny.
But most are not.
Okay, we're back with dad jokes.
Mr.
More.
Starkey.
I feel like Dave played it up big time last time. They went down well at work. And
They did,
just-
and this it's so disappointing. I mean, I haven't been at work this week because of, again, aforementioned house reno. Haven't been at work, so I haven't had chance to because this is really bad. I've been at work and I've had chance to prep for the podcast. But to be fair, not chance, like half an hour, quick break, sandwich, and some rapid Googling sort of thing. But this week I've been super, super busy, so I haven't prepped a fucking thing, and I'm really, really sorry for the negligence here. So I've got a Facebook page which I follow, so I'm going to steal some off them.
Oh, you plagiarising bastard.
Oh, now
I know,
I've
but-
got
well,
to try and not look
hold-
at Dave when he delivers these because he's
the
just
phone.
funny.
Plagiarism.
Okay.
Have you written any of your jokes, sir?
No.
There you go.
Same.
Right.
Right, come on then, Dave.
Okay. Why don't dinosaurs make good pets? Because they're dead. And you're giggling.
Wow.
You giggling? No? Oh God, you guys, tough crowd, man.
Go on then, Tom.
Okay, hold on. I've got a list here that I wrote this week, and I'm just trying to pick the one that I've got them orders, and I want to. Yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up. Right. So my wife asked me to go and get 6 cans of Sprite from the local Tesco. I realised that when I got home that I'd only picked 7 up.
I'm laughing at Dave laughing.
I got Dave. I'm
Oh,
more than happy with that.
That's so cheap. That is so cheap.
Well, if you didn't like that, you're not going to like this one.
It's probably something sexual.
Maybe. Have you heard about the king sperm who was good at maths? His name was Circumference.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm crying, but not at that.
I'm in a giggling mood this evening. Circumference. Oh, that is shocking.
I don't even know what to say. So I'll say nothing.
Oh, I'm so happy. After that one, there's going to be a come down period. Sorry. Do I get to do another one?
Yeah, you got another one.
Okay. Again, terrible. A man walked into a hardware store, picked up a can of fly spray. "Is this good for wasps?" he asks the assistant, to which she replies, "Nah, it kills them."
Fucking hell. I swear to God, this doesn't get funnier. I'm dropping this section.
No, never. Tom.
Okay, mine's just a quick one-liner. Dogs can't operate MRI machines, but cats can.
Shocking.
Shocking. I
love
told
it.
you, it's going to
But
get
that's
worse.
what makes this funny. Okay, my one is going to go down like a lead balloon, but I couldn't give a shit. What do you get when you cross the Atlantic Ocean with the Titanic? Halfway.
I like that one.
Yes. I got a laugh from Dave about cum and people dead on the Titanic from Tom. We're going to hell. Yeah. I'll reserve a seat. I swear to God, the amount of like dark humour jokes that I've got, I'm going to stand at the pearly gates and they're going to go, "Do you think you should get in?" Yeah. Let me just run through all
Podcast
the jokes that you've
episode
ever
6.
said. Yeah. Brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Dad Jokes.
Dad jokes.
Some of these jokes are really fucking funny.
But most are not.
I like circumference though, didn't you?
Circumference.
Jeez, we're
was
still
it?
talking about that? Okay.
I'm Steve Stifler, and I have an 11-inch penis.
Around.
All right.
Think about it. Right. Dan.
Bonjour.
Buongiorno. So,
Buongiorno.
all-time favourite musician. Go.
Eminem. Obviously, I've mentioned it in multiple podcasts. Love my hip hop background, but I've done like I had to think long and hard about this, and it was one of them ones where
Long and hard.
title of your podcast. it was one of them ones where I'm like, you can go for the icons, you can go for like David Bowie and stuff like that and everything, but I've looked at like record sales and the amount of people that they've influenced and stuff like that, and coming from the hip hop background, for me, definitely Eminem, 100%.
I remember when we spoke about it sort of very briefly when we first put these together. And I said to you, like, to me, I feel like Eminem's more of like, he's so much more of a lyricist and more like a poet than he is more of a musician.
Yeah.
Not taking the music side of it away, because to put the stuff that he does and like how he freestyles and comes up with that stuff is unbelievable. But I feel like he's got such a way with words.
Yeah, he's got like such a high knowledge of his craft and the way like he is with words, stuff like.
But then, don't you think a lot of the stuff the way that people freestyle in hip hop and when it has come from him anyway? Like, I feel like
100%.
He's sort of defined that.
100%. I mean, you've only got to look at who his influence. 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, Akon, The Game, Kendrick Lamar. You wouldn't have those if it wasn't for sort of Eminem, which is amazing. And he's one of the only musicians to win a Grammy and an Oscar.
Yeah.
Like,
I think what fits like Eminem as well, like his backstory and everything about like his life and all like the hardships he's had, sits with like people so well as well. Like it's not good in any way, shape or form, but like he's one of those people that's just worked hard and he's put the time in, and he's what he is so unique.
Yeah,
there will be never anybody that is him.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day of when he's on like this open top bus when the Slim Shady LP was just about to come out. Like, My Name Is had only just started featuring on MTV, and he like leans over the side of the bus in this like bright green tracksuit, and he's like, "Hey, buy my album." And this dude's like, "Who the fuck are you?" Like, that wouldn't happen now, like all. And then to go from that, and I think like you when we're saying like why, in my eyes, why is he the greatest? You look at the people he's influenced, you look at his awards. Marshall Mathers LP sold 2.5 million records in its first week. It's one of the biggest selling albums in its first week, and it's sold
Actually, of all time,
There you go. And it's also sold near enough. I think it's something like over 60 million copies altogether. It's close to Michael Jackson beat it. And for a hip hop artist to have that is just incredible.
Insane.
Absolutely incredible.
I must admit, I think I was massively into Eminem when I was younger. Hugely into Eminem. And I think literally the first time that I ever listened to any of his music, I think it was that initial EP with My Name Is and stuff on it.
Slim Shady LP.
Slim Shady LP.
You did the public service announcement thing earlier.
Well,
didn't
this
you?
is the thing. So I hadn't heard the public service announcement, but I assume the first time that I heard it was probably on MTV or something like that. And literally, to be sitting there watching this guy, I think he was dressed as Marilyn Manson in the beginning of the video or whatever.
Yeah.
Looking a bit freaky. I was like, what the fuck am I listening to? And the first thing he said is, "Hi kids, do you like violence? Want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids?" And, and somehow, as a young boy, that resonated with me.
yes, I fucking do.
It's a man. And what's also on MTV at this point is Jackass. I'm like, well, those guys aren't doing that, are they?
Yeah.
So yeah, do it. Fuck. But like you say, everything that he does, like Tom was touching on about, the way he phrases things, the speed, the immense speed that the guy. I mean, you know,
unbelievable.
And to be able to pronounce every word. But I think maybe before Green Day, Eminem was probably, you know, off that EP. Because I'm thinking, what we got on that EP with there's My Name Is, there's Guilty Conscience,
Criminal,
there's Brain Damage,
Brain Damaged, absolutely phenomenal. I remember saying to my parents, because thankfully I didn't have parents that give a shit. I mean, like Grand Theft Auto Vice City 18+, yeah, you play it, not a problem. You want to watch Jackass, Jamie? You know, your brother will sneak you into the cinema to watch that, not a problem. I got this my nan, my Irish grandma, asked my parents, what does Dan want for Christmas? Oh, he really wants this album by a guy called Eminem. Okay, I'll get it. Gets it, comes around Christmas Day, and she's like, show me, go on then, show me what this is. And that public service announcement come on, and as soon as it finished, she was like, what did he say?
Yeah. You know what the funniest thing is about those that always makes me piss myself, even to this day? It's, this is a public service, and then in the background, this is Eminem whispering to
and
him.
this is the best thing, all those ad-libs that he puts in, like in between, he's just absolutely
comedy.
Incredible. That's
so
stapled his nuts to a stack of paper.
And when you think about hip-hop music, people always think about, you know, your East Coast versus West Coast, and people have always got beef, like, you know, 50 Cent had beef with the Game and all stuff like that. You don't get that in like rock or like punk and stuff like that.
We're just nice guys.
Yeah.
See,
probably
there are some exceptions. You know, Godsmack.
Yeah.
But Sully Erna from Godsmack absolutely fucking hates the guys from Motley Crue.
But he wrote a song about it.
He has.
Okay,
it's called
fair
Crying
enough.
Like a Bitch.
There you go.
And that's written about Nikki Sixx. But
there you go.
Ask Charlie to do the chorus of that.
Done.
It will make you fucking laugh.
But like, you look at anybody in the hip hop industry and you ask them about Eminem, nobody wants beef with Eminem. People have tried. You know, I'm not going to repeat the lyrics on this podcast, even though we swear quite a bit. You'd have to bleep it all out. But go and look at the verse he's written to Nick Cannon about Mariah Carey. Unbelievable. Look what he did to Machine Gun Kelly. Ruined him. Like, not really ruined him. Not a lot of people knew about Machine Gun Kelly until this beef. And
Machine Gun Kelly made Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly marketed it very well. But like, he released that like song about Eminem, and everyone was like, nobody turned around and was like, oh my god, you've punked Eminem. Everybody turned around and went, you're in fucking trouble. Like, you're really in trouble. And then he came out, and then he just came out and just destroyed him. But another reason why I think he's just simply one of the greatest is because of who else he's worked with as well. Rihanna, Demi Lovato. I mean, like, he's working with a lot of names now. You know, like Pink when she was trying to make her own and stuff like that. But even back on like the Marshall Mathers LP when he did the song with Dido.
Stan.
Absolutely incredible. And then did that live with Elton John. Like, the amount of people like Eminem's homophobic. Then he comes out with Elton John, and Elton John's like, no, he's not.
Eminem is so far. Eminem is the other end of the spectrum to homophobic, xenophobic. You know, he's so against anything like that.
Yeah.
From everything that you read about him and talk, I mean, I'm sure he's probably done some questionable shit. I think
of course,
most people have and
has.
stuff, but when you think, I mean,
I heard a funny story actually about that Elton John told everybody that for I don't know what birthday it was, but Eminem bought him a diamond encrusted cock ring.
It was for Elton John's wedding.
It was, yes, it was. Yeah.
And he had him delivered on velvet pillows.
Yes.
Yeah, diamond encrusted cock ring.
He's a funny guy, man. Did you ever watch that thing that Oh, it was about Seth Rogen and James Franco did it, where it's something to do with the Korean dictator Kim Jong-il or Kim Jong-un.
Oh, the interview.
The interview. They did that movie, and he's in that, isn't he? And he's sat there, and he's so unafraid to rip the piss out of himself. So he comes out, and they're talking about it and talking about his career and stuff, and he just says something about him being gay, and I think it's taken as a piss take by James Franco's character, and he's like, no, seriously, I am. And I think this is the thing about Eminem. Yes, that's funny, and it's a funny scene and stuff. I'm not Eminem's gay or whatever, but he just doesn't have an issue with any of it. And I think that's. I'm going to get a little bit political, because why the fuck not? But he hasn't got an issue with any of that stuff.
Nope.
And he comes from a time where people, by and large, had a problem with that kind of thing. But he's come from a time into now, and his views are, would have probably been considered progressive back then. Like, do you know what I mean? He's against racism. He's against sexism. He's against. I think he's all in for gay rights and all of that sort of stuff. And I think that's another thing that do you know what I mean? We love him for.
I think that, and that's what makes him such an icon. The influences, the awards, his whole stature, just brilliant. Not just like I say the hip hop music side of it, just incredible as a person as well. So
without doubt. Right, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Hates his mum though.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Covers.
Won't go down.
I love your mum.
Oh my god! I knew that was coming.
Dave's mum is fine.
That's enough of that. Covers, Daniel.
Covers. So I picked some covers that people probably have never heard of at all. So there's a band who
fucking cares?
Exactly. There's a band. They've got their original music, which is really, really good, but they started off as a YouTube band doing covers. They're called Our Last Night, and I struggled to pick my favourite. I showed you a cover earlier of like a recent one that they've done, but I am a huge Ariana Grande fan as well, and they've done a cover of Seven Rings by Ariana Grande, which will be on the playlist. How they make the songs, like there's one thing doing a cover and it's very much like the original, but then to do a cover and make it your own, and they do it for every single cover that they do. And like somebody will release a new song and within a week they'll put a cover out. Like at the moment they're doing a whole trend on picking up on the new songs on TikTok and doing covers of those to sort of like get more out there. So if you haven't listened to them, Our Last Night on YouTube, some of the best covers I've ever heard by far. And as well, like some of them are pop related, some of them are hip hop related. The one I showed you earlier is just massively like metal sort of related. The guy can scream, he can sing, the drummer's phenomenal. All round amazing. 100%.
Awesome. I haven't heard them, but I am going to go and check them out. I've just had a quick YouTube, and I'm pretty sure I recognise the singer from somewhere else, but we'll not get into that.
I'll show you a song in a minute. It's like a 2-minute song. It's fucking awesome as well.
So, cover number 2, Dan.
Cover number 2 is by a acoustic artist called William Singh, who has by far one of the best voices I've ever heard. And this is a song.
YouTube star again, is he? Or
yeah, he started off as a YouTube star. And now he's like touring with loads of people. I couldn't tell you who because it's all in America. William Singh, and he does a cover of Hotline Bling by Drake. And you were talking earlier about like Brandon hitting those high notes. I'll show you this cover. The high note that he hits in this is absolutely incredible. But they're like those real ambient covers. They're not like lively or anything. You could just sit in a room and chill and listen to his voice and be calm as fuck.
yeah, so sort of like what I would call like wedding
Yes.
wedding breakfast
Yeah.
songs. So like
Yeah,
when you're sitting down to eat, you can like
Yeah.
that's what Boyce Avenue do, don't they? You know, like
Yeah.
songs where it's like, oh yeah, shit, I know this song, and it's like, you know,
Couldn't have had Boyce Avenue playing at my wedding. I'd have fucking tried to get on the dude. I mean,
He's a sexy motherfucker.
He is, yeah.
His voice as well is ridiculous.
Yeah, sexy motherfucker.
talking about sexy voices, we're going to play a song by some good friends of mine called Story to Tell. So they came and played in Tamworth, to be fair, a while back. You might know some of them from. To be fair, I'll show you some old songs as well, and you'll definitely know who I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, this song is called In Colour. It was one of the latest ones they've released. The guys are fucking awesome, so love you all. And yeah, we'll give it a smash now. Here we go.
All right.
So that was In Colour by A Story to Tell.
Not a bad track.
I to be fair, for obviously I've known the guys, toured with the guys with Elf for a lot. To be fair, and we've got a great relationship with all of the guys, and I feel like that's such more of a grown-up song than the stuff we used to play live together. It's really great. I've always loved Jack's vocal as well. Anyway, like he's just awesome.
It's quite distinctive, isn't he? Quite recognisable.
Yeah, definitely. And Mark, who's sort of like Mark tends to write a lot of the stuff. Mark, it's just awesome. He's just wrote a kids' book actually, Marcus.
Awesome.
Yeah, killing it. Anyway,
anywho,
digressing.
On to the next one. Who have we got?
We've got a band from the same area, actually. Both these bands are from sort of Peterborough way. White Clouds and Gunfire, this band is called. Again, toured with these guys with Elf. We're sort of just going through that list. If you know, I say that on pretty much every band that we talk about. Yeah, toured with these guys. Yeah.
I'm just glad you fucking remember. I can't think of one band that we've played, unless they're a Tamworth band. Not a clue.
We've had White Clouds and Gunfire before. No, we haven't.
No, this is the first time. So this is the first time I was sort of keeping Story to Tell and White Clouds because of the sort of close proximity. They were, I think, they were together around about the same time. Like we were on tours and stuff together. So yeah, it was good fun. Everybody sort of knew each other. It was great. So this one is called Poison. Again, female fronted. Evie, lead singer, absolutely smashing it. Awesome. Right, let's play it.
Let's go.
I'll get involved.
White clouds and gunfire, everybody.
Loved it. I really liked that. I think the chorus is incredibly catchy.
Yeah, always went down well. Poison.
It is super catchy, and again, her voice is crazy distinctive.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you could pick her out.
Yeah.
Like you threw her into a mix in another band.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You go, oh, that's
Evie. Yeah,
that's Evie from White Clouds and Gunfire.
They reminded
It's
me
a
a lot
great
of
voice.
Everybody Looks Famous.
Do you think?
Of that sort of style, yeah. Like, because I know you can say, oh, because they're female fronted. Not because they're female fronted.
You
Just
sound like
that,
Evanescence.
That style. But like you say, yeah, Evanescence,
Jesus
Paramore,
Christ.
After Hours, Everybody Looks Famous. And these guys, like,
I love the drop.
plug. But
I
you
love how
get
you
what I
did
mean? They
Plug for a band that doesn't exist anymore.
yeah. But that sound and the harmonies in the chorus, amazing.
Yeah.
That's going to be stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
I can hear that.
Very
Yeah,
catchy.
yeah. And yeah, so all the harmonies is Rob as well, which is crazy. Like live as well, he
They're
hit
upper.
it like it was awesome. So yeah, we love that one. To be fair, both Peterborough bands smashing it.
Well done. I liked it.
Yeah. So
That is the end.
that is the end.
Of
I've noticed as
podcast
well
6.
from listening to the podcast. Just a quick note: I say "so" as a connecting word fucking constantly. So can we have a count next time, please? Of just like a. That's the fourth one. That's the
Okay,
fifth
well, we
one.
need a fuck count for me then, or a pussy hole
No.
count or something.
That's 2. Right.
Right, to send us out on podcast 6, Mr. Starkey.
What
You got for us?
today?
Give me what you got for a pork chop.
Well, what did you do earlier that was pretty good? Scouse was pretty good last time. You have to get into it with a swear.
Fucking shit. Fuck. So fucking gross. Your wife lies in bed watching videos of that shit, doesn't she? What is it? AMSR? ASMR?
Yeah, yeah.
Creeping me the fuck out. Even the dog's looking at you like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right, send us off, Dave.
Okay.
Podcast number 6.
I'm going to try. If there's
Longest podcast so far.
If there's an exorbitant gap now, Tom, you're going to have to edit this.
It's fine. It's building dramatic suspense.
It's not building any dramatic suspense. It's me trying to figure out what I'm going to say.
Yeah, mate, that was the fucking Prom Night Rejects podcast, you fuck... Jesus Christ, I swear to fucking God, you better go out and listen to it. I'll have your fucking laces out your shoes.
Best one yet.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.